Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Living Life at Life U. I am your host, Dr. Veronica Garcia, and today I am joined by a super cool, very interesting member of our university, Mr. Alex Pama. Hi, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It is such an honor and a pleasure. I'm really excited for the world to know a little bit more of your role at the university.
Okay.
So, Mr. Alex, tell me a little bit of what it is that you do exactly at the university.
So I'm the head men's soccer coach here at Life University for the past 7, I think almost 8 years.
Wow.
So, yeah.
And you do come from other coaching experiences, right? So tell me a little bit of what inspired you to even become a coach for soccer.
Well, I've always liked to work with people, and coaching is influencing people.
Yes.
So that attracted me. But the main reason was my playing career ended abruptly. So the next best thing is coaching after playing. So that's how I got into it. And into the college game, I've been at the professional level, the youth level. Basically, I've been at the college level now for 12 years in total, and quite enjoy it because you kind of have, every year you have a new group of guys. You have, you start fresh, so it's never getting boring. It's never repetitive, and so I enjoy that quite a bit.
So what would be like the biggest difference? You mentioned you've done the professional, the youth, and the college. What would be like the biggest highlight for you working with college versus the other experiences that you've had?
Well, in college, you work, first of all, you work with young adults. So that's always interesting. And especially nowadays, I think more than maybe in the past, you have to not just coach the player, but you also have to coach and shape the young men that I'm coaching. So these guys go from boys to becoming young men, and then they have to go into the real life. And to kind of be a part of that process is very interesting and very challenging at times, but also very rewarding. As I've received 2 invitations this year alone to go to weddings of my players. So I think that's the ultimate, recognition that you as a coach can get. So you've meant enough for them to be invited to their special day.
Wow, that's beautiful. It's a great perspective and point of view. I love that. Tell me a little bit. You mentioned your career ended abruptly. Are you comfortable sharing why? What happened?
Sure. Actually, it was my back. So I couldn't play because of my back. So the doctor said it was not responsible anymore to play soccer. So I immediately got into the coaching ranks at the professional level in Holland, and then got the opportunity to come to the United States. I was born in the United States originally, even though I am from Holland. My dad was the naval attaché at the Dutch embassy, so I was lucky to have 2 passports. So when I was invited to come to the US, I fell in love with the country, fell in love with the people. So I was like, okay, you know what? This is my place. But then I had the opportunity about 15 years ago to go back and manage a professional team. So that was a big part of my career as well. So I did that, and it was time when the kids were growing up a little bit to come back to the US, and I'm happy I'm back, and I'm happy that I'm at Life University as well. So
not so little campus, eh?
It's not so little campus. It's a beautiful place. I think I always smile when people come on campus and they see what a beautiful place this really is. And then our athletic facilities can rival with many Division I schools. So I am very, very pleased with that aspect, of course, of campus, but also just the campus itself is gorgeous.
Yeah, state of the art, I would call it. Just state of the art, everything athletics is. It truly is. As a former college athlete, I look at it and I'm like, it's so beautiful and so shiny and so just together. Yes. Tell me a little bit about how, as a soccer coach and college level, you help manage that interpersonal relationships of the students, understanding that, of course, they're students first, but they're also athletes, and that's their passion. A lot of times they're kind of fire.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I think you've also heard it from my players and from my staff, is that we reiterate a lot that student comes before athlete.
Right.
And I tell my players, winning rings, which we have won, championship rings, is nice, but your biggest trophy is your diploma at the end of your 4 or 6 years here at this institution, if you so seek to choose a master's degree after your undergrad. And that's my proudest moment as a coach, is to see you walk down that stage, get your diploma, get your certificate. And then, of course, I'm very proud to say that a lot of our soccer players, alumni, do well because they stay in touch with me over the years. They do well in life. So besides good soccer players that we're trying to develop, we're also trying to develop good human beings.
Yeah.
And that can contribute to society in a productive way. And I'm happy to say, knock on wood, that so far, we have managed to do that. So.
Yeah, I love that. Would you say you've had at any point any uncomfortable or just challenging situations within the team, and how would you manage that, and how has the culture of the university helped manage those?
Yeah, I mean, we have a good team culture. I mean, it depends on what you mean with, challenging. For what one person is a huge challenge, another person it's a small obstacle to overcome. So, but yeah, it's never easy because you're dealing with young men ages 18 through 24, 25 years old. You're dealing with egos. That's unfortunately a trait that we men possess. So, but to put things in perspective and to guide them on the right path, I think that's the challenge that we have day in, day out. I think our athletic department is well organized and well structured and has a lot of means to help us, keeping these young men on the right track. And then the university itself as well. So there's a very big support system. Like I said, it's a small university maybe in numbers, but not in support staff and the way we do business here at Life University. So it is a very safe environment, for our young students to grow up in and flourish and reach their maximum potential.
I love that. And when your team is getting ready to recruit and you're looking at that new special athlete that's going to join the team, what are some of those qualities that you're looking for on that person?
Yeah, so we basically use 5 criteria to look at new prospective student athletes. The first one is your technical ability, like how good are you with the ball, of course. Then the second one is your understanding of the game, like do you understand? Because the players are coming from the youth level often, and it's not the same. The collegiate level is a level above that, maybe sometimes in some cases 2 or 3 levels above what they're used to. So you have to understand the game. The third aspect is your physicality. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be 6'3", but you do need to win your duels. You do need to be good in that aspect of the game. And then the fourth one is speed, and not just pure speed. That's helpful in certain positions, but also your handling speed. So how fast are you seeing the solutions, and can you execute them? And then the last part, which I think nowadays is the most important part for college coaches, is your mentality, your character.
Yes.
I think right now that's the first aspect we look at. So how do you handle adversity? What is your life story? Tell us more about it. Tell us about. And then when we look at players, like how do you react to coaches? How do you react to your opponents? How do you react to referees or spectators? What kind of person are you? Are you highly emotional, or are you even keel? And the same is true for in the application process. So are you responsible? Are you turning all your stuff in on time, or are you procrastinating and not? That tells us a little bit about the individual as well. So we typically, once we are through that process and we decide that this could be a potential athlete, then we set up video calls, or we invite the student on campus, which is always easy. Once they're on campus, we've sold them to commit to Life University. But in a video call, we explain a little bit about our program, about our university, about Marietta, Atlanta, Georgia, and so on. And then we want to see full game film. We want to potentially talk to their coaches, even if they're overseas. So it's important in our staff as well that we're very diverse. So we have a lot of different nationalities. So if English is not the language we can speak, we can easily switch and put a coach on the phone that speaks Spanish or speaks another language that is needed, to get more background info on that player. So the mentality aspect, the character aspect, nowadays, I think is the number one quality that we look for.
I love that. That's definitely extremely important, both in the athletic career as well as the professional career as an employer. It's such a huge piece and it comes through in resumes and CVs and
Yep.
first interview, the first handshake. It comes through everything.
Yep.
So it's beautiful that they're already getting that training as they continue to transition into professional life.
Correct. Yeah, I know. Well, and it's. I think a lot of employers are looking for team players. Are looking, and I used to be in an executive role as well, but outside of soccer, and I was always very interested in student athletes from universities because they just had a little leg up as a regular student, as opposed to a regular student. Because these people, student athletes, know out of experience, you know time management. They know how to function in a team and how to operate. They know about pressures. They know about deadlines and that kind of stuff. So I think it's an integral part of what we do and why athletics is so important within a university structure. So
I agree. I love that. So let's talk before we close. Let's talk a little bit about the journey of the soccer team, the men's soccer team right now. We've had our highs, we've had our lows. So where are we at, and how would you say that you've seen over the past 3-4 years that growth and what this season is kind of perceiving already as?
Yeah, I mean I've been here now. I took over the program when I think it was 1-15 or 1-16 was the record of my predecessor. And that was about 8 years ago almost. So time flies. With our quarter system at Life University, it is very difficult to win a championship in men's soccer back to back. Because what happens is typically in a cycle of a student athlete, it's 4 years.
Yeah.
And typically in the upperclassmen years, junior, senior, the coach gets the most out of the players.
Right.
We don't get to that point often because of our quarter system. Our students graduate really quick because they have the summer quarter as an extra quarter that they use. So typically within 2.5 years, I have to rebuild the entire squad.
Wow.
So what we have seen in the last 7 years is that every 3 years we win a championship.
Yeah.
Here at Life, we're in the conference. It doesn't help that we're in the toughest conference in the nation as well when it comes to men's soccer. We were in the toughest conference and then we switched. And this one is now the toughest conference.
Yeah.
But we do see this year is kind of a break with tradition. So far this season is still early. But we see that we already are successful in year 2 of the 3-year cycle.
Yeah.
And typically in year 3 is the year that we are producing a championship.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that the team will continue this. Yes. Tonight we have a game. It's a must-win. Saturday we have a game. It's also a must-win. And if we win those 2, I think the season will end up with us qualifying again for the national tournament and hopefully bring home a national title, because that's the ultimate goal.
I love that. Yeah. Yes. Good luck with that. Absolutely. And for anybody that wants to come in and watch a game or look at the schedule, where can they find the schedule? So
they can go to the LiveView Athletic website. So if you just Google LiveView Athletics, you will be brought to that. You click in men's soccer and then you see our schedule.
Nice. Yeah. Awesome. Well, good luck on today's and Saturday's games and every game afterwards. I'm sure it's going to be an amazing season. Thank you for taking a little bit of your time with us. I really appreciate it.
You're most welcome. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Have a beautiful quarter. And we'll see you guys on the next episode of Living Life at LiveView. Bye.